Morning all, just thought I'd give a update on the antenna tower situation. So about 2 weeks ago, just on a whim I suppose, I had a few of the boys around and we stood the tower up with the two antennas on it, obviously the rotatable dipole and the 2-element beam. Yeah, and it all went really well. As you can see, yeah, it looks pretty good from up there. Obviously we've got we got up there today. Got a little bird up there. Yes, it's going to become a bit of a perch, I would say. Usually for the galahs and cockies over here in Australia. They're not too bad at the moment. I'm fairly lucky, or unlucky, because I do live over from a fairly large park, and they haven't turned up yet, but they usually start turning up around January. At the moment, they're probably out towards inland Western Australia a bit more. They've finished their breeding season, and yeah, they usually bring their young in as the food sources dry up. They usually come into the more urban areas, and they've got really worse over the last 10 years. I've noticed they've really increased in numbers, and I think there is some sort of a push to get them culled. Yeah, they can cause a lot of trouble. Yeah, usually it's TV antennas. I've been fairly lucky with my TV antenna because I've already got enough big perches. They leave mine alone, but next doors has had all the elements broken off. Anyway, yeah, it's a cause of concern. So I've checked the SWR on both the antennas, just quickly with the analyzer to see if there was any movement. There was on the rotatable dipole, and there was nothing on the 2-element beam. I do have my BBA fairly close to one of the elements. It actually turned out really well. I thought this conifer was going to cause some grief, but it just missed as we put it up. Although I could wind it up, it is wound up a bit at the moment. If I just bring it in here, sorry about the sunlight today, guys. It's fairly in the morning, so I have got it wound up a bit. I've also used a shackle as a stopgap at the moment, you know, in case the cable breaks or anything like that. It won't have far to go, but it probably doesn't. The cables are in really good nick. I can't see anything happening, but you never know. What I have done though, I did use a tie off. I don't know if you can see it at the moment, but that's tied off to a tree. Where is it? No, oh, you can sort of see it. Just some Dacron rope, and use that just to tie the antenna off, because it hasn't actually got a proper cage. It's actually sitting on the rotator, so there is a bit more movement on the rotator. That's what usually causes the most drama. That's back and forward motion over a period of time that will cause failure in the bearing cage of the rotators. So when I'm not using it, I'll just tie it off, and I have wound it up fairly high, and yeah, from the road it's yeah, because it's already sitting on we're already up about a good 1.5 to 2 meters from the house. It's already up fairly high, and yeah, I wound it up to about 2/3 of its length. That's all I need to do. I haven't guyed the second section for that reason. I don't really need to have it up too high, and of course it's going to cause some visual dramas, and you only get greedy when you get caught. So if I have that thing wound up and I live on a bit of a main road, or somebody drives past that takes offence to it, usually the fun police or the shire officer or something sees it, yeah, I could be in for a little bit of trouble. I have been in trouble before, and hence that's where this tower was from the people over the back. Either side couldn't care less, and as I said, I live opposite a big park, so yeah, well, there's no neighbours over there, and that's part of it. The visual look of it, that's one of the considerations with councils. They will sometimes go and ask neighbours for a submission, or you have to get a written submission from a neighbour saying that, you know, they're quite happy to have this great big thing next door in the air, even though you don't pay for a view, or views are not part of a consideration when buying a house. It's all part of this, you know, new urban yada yada yada, and keeping the place looking good and whatever. Yeah. So in the next couple of days, or hopefully on the weekend, I'll start feeding the wires into the shack. Wires, cables, sorry, coax. Yeah, and we'll hook it all up. I'm quite looking forward to this. This should be pretty good. Probably looking forward more to the rotatable dipole to see what it can do. I will sort of crank it up a little bit when I go to use it. Probably about 1 metre or so. I just need to clear. As you can see, it's fairly close, probably about 500 mil away from the BBA antenna. So there will be a little bit of reflection there. So for both antennas, or probably all three of them. So I'll just wind that up a bit and just leave it at that. And yeah, hopefully I can get on air. What are we, in November here in Australia? And yeah, it's really starting to ramp up. I was away for work for a couple of weeks, and I drove all the way up, right up to the top of Western Australia, and I've got a Icom in the car with just a 7-foot stainless on an auto tuner, and I was getting into Spain and Europe easily, but considering I was about 3,000 kilometres north of where I live in Perth, I expected to get a different set of signals, I suppose. So Spain and Portugal, I was getting Austria, Italy, which comes into Australia a fair bit. Italy's not a big one, but Scotland, Ireland, I could hear, and I made some good contacts into there, which usually you don't hear especially from Ireland, unless somebody's running really big power, which they do these days. So good luck to them. Okay, so the next video will be about just checking the SWR on the antennas, doing the coax, doing the connectors, getting it set up in the shack, and seeing exactly what these two antennas can do in their new position. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, drop a comment in the comments box, and all the best in 73s for now.